ups and downs and random things going on here. Yes. Yes. Well, let's see. I myself I was working at one point. Um, and then the job wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but the management was terrible. So I tried to hold it out, try to last, but um um you're gonna go ahead and get off the screen. Chat. We don't need you for promotion of our thing. Um, but the management just was it was terrible, man. Um, like I've never worked at a job where they asked me what is it like what shift I want to be in, and then put me in the complete opposite shift. Yeah, and then they like when I first started there, the people that worked there, as soon as I started there, like the first week, I actually started not training and all that stupid. But everything else, all I heard was everybody complaining about the management, and I'm just like, well, whatever. I've been around the block, seen a few things, and no, it was terrible, dude. So instead of just being the loudmouth veteran that I am and speaking how I really feel, I just was like, you know what, I'm done. Um, maybe I'm not rich, and I don't. Yeah, back to retirement for now. I got to finish my masters anyway, man. I think August of next year, I believe, I'll be done. But then, winter's coming. What? Hey, I'm thinking about it. To be honest, um, because I think it's towards the end of August, so my girls will have went back home already. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Now winter's coming and seasonal depression's kicking in, and now I'm starting to lose motivation to do things, and yeah, I don't know, just one of them days. Yes, 100%. Right, right, yeah, yeah. We actually that'll make for a good one, seeing as we both have been through it at least once, maybe twice. Twice for me, I know of. It was it was short, man. It was short. I mean, I know it was like 8 weeks because again, life happens and certain things what happened, and so I only got 8 weeks, but it went quick. I didn't. I don't even know what we did. I know we did a few things with the Wounded Warrior Project. So we got to go to like an amusement park and indoor water park thing and stuff like that. But it was like they were here and they were gone. Right. Yeah. How was marching band? Hey. and they got 10th in state. I mean, that's pretty badass. Oh, wow. Yeah. Let's see. How has work been going? Dude, right. What you're doing is freaking awesome, man. It's kind of hard to find that stuff around here, though, you know? Right. Yeah. Well, I'm not just taking anything this time. Last time I thought it would be something that I would enjoy, you know, getting my master's in child psychology, and it's like, oh, I can work with kids, and it was not even what I thought it was. I mean, the disrespect that I saw to these kids was just it was immaculate. Yeah, yeah, it's not what they made it seem, and that's okay. Um, I tried it, you know, got out of my house, tried it, and then realized that I like my house more right now, and I don't want to be out. And I'm not gonna settle. I have standards, and you know, it's not even a financial standard. Like, it's not even I want to make a certain amount or I want to do this. It's just a standard in general. Um, Either I want to be helping veterans or I want to be helping kids, and that job just was not doing it. So yeah, yeah. There's two of them. They're in the other room. The wind blows, somebody moves, and they're ready to make noise. But it is what it is. At least they're in here with me. It's been cold. Um, Not necessarily 30 degrees right now. Right now it's 49 and mostly sunny. But I mean, what, last week I think it was, I had snow covering my deck. So, and I'm not happy about that. I don't like that stuff. That stuff's gross. So let's see. We got uh, in Twitch chat. We got Wisconsin Sam. How you doing, Sam? Doing good. Get that. What you been up to, Sam? We'll give him time to talk. But I know we want to say some things for episodes because we're gonna start doing more now. But one of the biggest things about being busy as veterans, I mean, service members they get busy too, right? But they're busy generally with serving. But as a veteran and being busy with life and everything, what have you been doing to help yourself mentally? Like, are you taking care of your well being? I mean, like like I know what you're going through because we talk offline. I know things like that, but one of the biggest things that I've learned, especially going through certain things, is the moment we let our mental health or our mental well being go is when we start getting that. And we all fight with demons anyway, right? Especially as veterans. But when we add on the extra stress and the extra things, the demons start to win more. So, what have you been doing besides working and hanging with the kids to keep your well being? Like, are you practicing self care? Are you doing certain things in order to keep your mind clear?
Seek the help.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the thing is a lot of people they don't think they need the help. They don't know if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got this, and I know civilians as they do it as well, but as veterans, that's what we're used to, right? Because when we were in, nobody cared. So it was either you do this or you get this or this happens. But now that we're not in and we're veterans, um, we need to be smarter. We need to open up our mindset that there is people out there to help. And I don't know if the VA is necessarily something that I would recommend going to, but it's something to look into. But as a person, like just with you, like I just want to make sure that you're doing good. See, now that I'm not working, well, working where I was because I was working for the state as well. But I don't know. I've been smoking a lot more, and well, basically every day, all day. But it doesn't make me lazy, right? Like I get things done, I do certain things, I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Whereas, yeah, yeah. Are they working on the recreational side? Oh, damn. I know before Michigan legalized it for recreational use too, people were just going right into doctors and somehow getting, like, the doctor was just like, yeah, they give them a card. And I'm like, wow, that's probably why Michigan decided to just legalize it recreationally too, just so that way. Because, I mean, well, one, they can make money off of it, and two, everybody was getting a card. So there was no reason not to, you know what I'm saying? Like I literally could have, I had a lot of people that were like, oh, well, I can recommend this person. You go to this doctor and you tell them what you told me and you'll have a card. And I'm like, why is it that easy? And then now I'm just like, man, I freaking love it. And oh, Yeah. Y- You mean like, yeah, they send you a pharmacy and then you've got a pharmacy sitting there wondering what you're going to do with it? Yeah. Yeah, I put all that stuff in a bag and put it in the basement. Because really, I mean, this just and I don't even like it's not the smoking like the actual stuff. I have a pen, a couple pens, and I'm telling you, man, stuff gets me through the day. It's helpful too. Like I didn't think that it would help with everything, but it literally helps with everything, mentally, physically. Just I guess always being in that state now, it just makes me feel like I am alive. Really, like I do things. Like there's been a couple times, a couple days where I didn't smoke at all, and I was kind of just like, nah, whatever. I'm here. Here we are. Let's do it. And I'm not addicted to it. I mean, I've done this shit multiple times throughout my life, even when I was a kid, or well, teenager or whatnot. It's not like cigarettes where I can't fight that addiction, but I can, just not ready to fully. Like literally, I could throw these pens away and I would be okay. But now that I realize that it helps, that's not something that I'm going to give up and go back to swallowing pills. No, no, it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, when I want to smoke a cigarette, I'll smoke a cigarette. I don't have the mentality right now to actually. So a biggest part about quitting, and we're not gonna get into this whole spiel about it because I have my opinions, others have theirs. In my mind, I don't. I mean, I know there are people that quit cold turkey, but I don't believe those people quit cold. They quit cold turkey because they wanted to, right? They had that motivation. They had that. I'm sure they had support on the side, but they had that motivation. See, I don't have the motivation to quit. There's times where I'm like, man, I need to quit smoking. It's getting expensive, blah blah blah. But then the times that I tried to, I've noticed that I don't have it. I don't want to right now. I don't know if it's because it's some gives me something to do or it's a crutch. Um, do I think that I could, if I quit smoking, that the medicinal stuff would help? Yes, but at the same time, I don't want to quit. So mentally, I don't I don't want to quit, and you're not going to, no matter what people say. And a lot of the people that I've talked to that have quit cold turkey, a lot of them have they only smoked a few years. Like you know, let's see, how old am I? I don't even know how old I am, but I've been smoking for since I was 13, so we're looking at 27 years. It is, and yeah, and it's not. But I mean, if that's the worst I do, I don't drink. I mean, I do sometimes, but it's like very rare. So if that's the worst that I do, I think we're doing all right, right? Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, like a normal veteran, binge drinking all the time. Right, like, and it's sad though that right, it's sad though that a lot of veterans and people in general, that's what they have to resort to. Mainly veterans because well, the VA doesn't really help with it. You know what I'm saying? like they say they do, but right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what FDA stands for, right? Wait, are we allowed to swear in this? Yeah. You know what FDA stands for, right? Fucking dumbass approved. Don't come to my house, though, people. Please. I mean, you can, but so you've been paying attention to current events or things going on out there? Yeah, I try not to, just because I don't really. I mean, we have DD 214 blankets that keep us from having to worry about things, but this world, man, this world is an awesome place. It's great. Well, people get bored, man. They get bored. What do you do when you get bored? You do random stupid stuff. No. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the hold my beer shit is a little outrageous. Hey, that tiny country over there, that tiny country could take out quite a few different places without our help. I'm just saying. Like I said, hey, don't mess with their stuff. Don't mess with their religion and their families and everything, man. That's all it is. But hey, I don't recommend people. Well, actually, who was I talking to? Who was it? You? No. This is the only thing about smoking a lot. My mind was already my memory is already short and messed up. I was talking to somebody. Oh no, it wasn't you. It was the other day though. We were talking about the military and how soft it's been getting, and um, yeah, like basically now you just throw dildos at people and it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's how soft it is. Instead of teaching these or training these people to be fighters, we're training them to talk about their feelings and before I go any farther, talking about our feelings is good. That's what we're supposed to do, but not in the instance of going to war. You know what I'm saying? And people getting offended and trying to fit in, and it's like, man, that's not what this is about. Like basic training, I'm not supposed to be wearing glasses that make me look cool, and just things like that. But I don't know. I don't recommend anybody join right now. You work on Fort Knox sometimes, yeah? Yeah, what's it like over there? Yeah, yeah, because I was working on Fort Custer, and that's basically all. Dude, I was watching people in uniform like just do. I mean, they weren't doing like super stupid stuff, but they just, I don't know. It was crazy because they all, um, I mean, there was like privates and stuff, and they were all full time. I'm like, how are you a private? Like when I don't know. It was just weird because I'm on a base, but it's a base that's just people are just sitting in an office or just doing stupid shit, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like either I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I know that I'm trying to get at something, but I can't get there right yet. Don't judge me. Don't tell me why. Just saying. I know what you're talking about. I understand. And seeing the stuff on another base, it was just like, man, this is what I mean. If I could have stayed in, this is what I would want to do. Shit. Yeah, you're a bullet chaser. And what'd you do? How does that help you out in the real world? Yeah, but that's mentality wise, that's the way it is. But I mean, and that's a lot of things too with people. Like when I hear people talk about the military, and my first thing is, all right, well, what do you want to do in your military? I want to be infantry. Awesome. So let's say, okay, you go through your whole military career, you don't ever go to war, which is good. You don't die. You stay alive. You make it through the military. What are you gonna do when you get out? Well, whatever the infantry does when they get out. Um, so what are you gonna do when you get out? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so why don't you think about a job in the military that will help you when you get out of the military? And they just look at me and they're like, well, yeah, but so and so that I know was infantry, and so I want to be infantry. And I'm like, I ain't saying nothing against infantry, man. That you're better than me. I'm not chasing a bullet. I'm good. But it doesn't. Some jobs doesn't matter if you're infantry or not. You're still chasing bullets. So either way, like you got to have a plan. So go ahead. Yeah. Right. Just helping veterans. Right. 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 Yeah. No. I saw that. That's awesome. Right. Oh. Okay. Right. No, that's awesome though. So that's what you do. That's what you do then. So you went from being the one that had no idea to being the one that, with your personal experience, you're helping them now. And that's awesome. I mean, that's something to be proud of, right? Some of these people come out of the military, and as soon as they're done, they don't know what they're gonna do. Oh, you good? We good? But I mean, that's good though. So what you're doing is something that's applaudable, because you're taking your experience and going to them and saying, "Look, I've been there. I wanted to be infantry too. I was infantry, or I wanted to do this MOS. I wanted to do that." Not really thinking about what's going to happen when I get out. So I understand where you come from, and then you're helping them, and that, dude, that right there, to be honest, that's amazing. It's amazing work. You're doing amazing work, and you're helping a lot of people. And some of those people that you help, you never know. You don't know what's in their minds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Right. 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 And yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Um, I had something I was gonna say, but then I lost it. Yeah. No. 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 It happens when your mind's constantly moving. That's what happens. So I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh, I know what I was gonna touch on, because you were talking about something about transitioning, basically, and going, like a certain date, a certain thing. So I know a lot of people that, like, I've talked to a lot of vets recently that had no idea about VR&E even. I mean, even when I'm like, well, it used to be called Voc Rehab, but now it's VR&E. And they don't know about that, and that's what I'm using. I mean, I'm getting my master's. They're paying for it, right? So I think that's something that a lot of veterans are transitioning service members need to be, because I didn't know about VRE or voc rehab like until, what was it, when I was fighting the VA because they were trying to decrease me instead of doing the right thing, and I saw it. I went to vet in the office, the Veteran Affairs office or whatever, and I saw something about, it said VRE and veteran readiness and employment. I'm like, what is that? They're like, you've never heard about that? I'm like, I've been out for quite a while. No, I've never heard about this. I have no idea what this is. So here I am, 40 years old, getting my master's because 10 years ago I had no idea about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think so. Go ahead.
Seen a lot of service members, transition service members, to caveat off that, not take advantage of the BDD, which is benefits upon delivery of discharge.
Right.
So they're not going through their out processing VA claim stuff. They're just bypassing it. It's like, you have to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because that'll open up so many extra doors.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is a lot of us didn't know that, and now that we do, now we can start passing it on. Because I mean, there's been a couple that after I told them about it, they went and looked into it, and they're like, oh, I got this, because I'm pretty sure I had to go through like an orientation thing with like a lot of people. It was like a Zoom call or something, or a team meeting or whatever. And
yeah,
dude, there was like at least 40 plus people all there. So they said they have to go through that, and then they're like, and then I believe I'm gonna get my own VRE person, and I was like, well, yeah, but the thing is I think you have to be approved through VRE, so you have to meet certain requirements, because regardless if the VA says that they have this benefit for you or they have this resource for you, there's still requirements, which I thought just serving in general, not necessarily going to war, but serving in general was the requirement I needed to get to have help. But you have to have certain requirements. So I've told these people, and it's nice to see people coming to me and being like, hey man, thank you for that information, because without you I wouldn't have known that. Or even people that have used up their post 9/11 GI Bill that didn't know about VRE. I don't know. Like I think I use most of my post 9/11. I think I have like 2 months left. But I mean that's still 2 months. Maybe what if I wanted to go 2 months to take a couple classes? I still have that to work with. But no, if they're not necessarily telling everybody about VRE or voc rehab or this and that, or they're just putting pamphlets out but not saying anything. Not everybody looks at the pamphlets at the VA. I think it's something that needs to be brought to more attention to people, so that way they understand, veterans understand, or transitioning service people need to know. They need to know that VRE is there, because I mean you get paid to go. They pay for all of it, your books, everything. How can you pass that up? I mean, I know a lot of people don't like college or going to school. I mean, you can go to trade school, you can go. You don't have to just go to college, but how do you pass up that opportunity? And if you don't meet the requirement, okay, then you go to your post 9/11 or whatever bill you got. But why would we not want people or veteran students, transitioning service people to know about this? Like everybody should be talking about it. Hey, dude, VRE is awesome, man. They did this. I'm pretty sure I was told that if I really wanted to go get my doctorate, they paid for that too. Am I going to?
Really?
Probably not, because I'm tired of school and I've been in school for way too long. But if I wanted to, I could. Like you. And then right after I'm done with school and I get my last degree, then that's when they're going to start working with me and helping me find a job position in that career, if I haven't found one already. But I'm not at that portion of it, so I can't say how good it is or how bad it is. I can tell you, for the most part, I've not really had any issues. I guess there's certain things like the VRE person I takes forever for them to respond back. I've been through. I'm on my third representative now. Second or third, I don't remember. But other than that, I mean, I don't really need anything. All I need to know, like, if the only few emails I've sent is basically, hey, I decided I want to do my master's. Okay, so we did that. I had to redo my little plan, because obviously it's going to take me a little bit to do my master's. Certain things though, like I've talked to people that are using VRE, and they're like, yeah, I told my VRE rep that I needed a new computer desk, and they're like, within a couple weeks I got a new desk, a chair and stuff. And then I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I kind of do need a new chair, and I need one that's going to help my back. And I sent my representative an email, and I get an email back that said, well, you have to have a prescription from your doctor. And I'm like, what? I mean,
yeah. When I got my chair, I had to get a statement from my medical provider saying that it would generally improve the ability to focus on my work because of the lessening of the back pain.
Yeah, but and then so you had to do it too. See, and I've talked to a couple that are like, no, I didn't have to do any of that. I just sent my rep an email, and they said, all right, well, we're working on sending you one. And it's like, why is it that some people have to go through this and that, and other ones are just like, yeah, I can't really tell if maybe they're lying, or they just don't want to talk about that part, or if it just.
The biggest problem I have with it is it's so hit or miss. So even doing the job I do, where I go to events and have to stand and everything else, it obviously hurts. But even with this go around, I try to get back in to get some schooling finished.
Mm-hmm.
And the rep that was assigned to me was not a veteran, absolutely not a veteran, and he denied me getting back into the program. So it's hit or miss for everybody. My last one, when I was in the program, the last one was great. She helped me get everything I needed, took care of everything I needed. But this one.
Wait, you had a VR&E rep that wasn't a vet?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't believe in that either. And that's the thing is, I've applied for a couple of jobs working with vets here in Michigan, and one of them that I talked to, he wasn't a vet, and I was like, well, what? Like you can't help. I mean, you can help, right? Don't get me wrong. People that aren't vets can help vets, right? Whatever, we get that. But when it comes to the job position, well, basically it's a job position because a lot of the stuff is a job, right? So when it comes to the job position of helping veterans find work, or veterans go back to school, or you know what I'm saying? Like, how are we not hiring vets?
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I mean, I know there's non-vets that really enjoy helping vets, and I get all that. But I'm telling you, that dude is lucky I didn't come into his office, because just talking to him on the phone, I was like, man, this dude is dumb as hell. How are you ain't gonna help no one. You can't even help a civilian, let alone help a vet. And then I think,
and you get some like that, because they knew somebody that got them a position working in that.
Yeah.
But they're just there to grab a paycheck and not actually put in the resources and the help and utilize the resources to help veterans. So
I was kind of mean to one of them too, because they called him, and let's see, I was asking about a position, and this dude was like, man, I got lucky to get this position. And I was like, I'm sorry? And he was like, yeah, I got lucky to get this position. And I was like, I don't even know what that means, man. He was like, oh, I applied for it through Indeed. And because it was, it's a state job too. It's not just whatever. And he was like, they don't post on Indeed. They accidentally did. And I was like, okay, that's congratulations. I guess I don't understand how you telling me this is helping with my question. And then he was like, man, if you would have called 2 months ago, we would have had another position open. And I was like, again, I don't understand how you're helping me right now. Oh, no, I was just trying to make small talk. And I'm like, I didn't call you to make small talk, dude. I called to ask if there's any positions doing what you're doing open that I can apply for. And if not, do you know of any like this elsewhere? That's literally what I called for. I didn't call you to tell me that you got lucky to get the job because you saw it on Indeed. It's almost like somebody bragging, like, hey, I got this and you didn't because I saw it here first. And it's like, that's congratulations. Like, I don't give a shit. I just want to know. And then I called the other place, and that's when that guy was like, he was saying something, and I was like, or no, I said, oh, so you got to be a vet in order for this position, right? Because I'm trying to find one that, like, you know. And he was like, no, I'm not a vet. I got the position. And I was just like, yeah, that is, all righty. Well, thank you. Have a great day. And I hung up. You ain't going to help me.
Not at all.
I'm sorry. I don't care. And somebody can disapprove of my opinion or not like it or argue about it. But in something like that kind of position, you need to have a vet. You just do.
Oh, most definitely.
Because most vets are going to, you know, you're going to get your disgruntled vets that come in and they're like, I need a damn job, blah, blah, blah. And having a non-vet, you know, some of them are going to be like, wow, he's really rude. I ain't helping him. Other vets like us, we're like, bro, get in line, buddy. You come in here being disgruntled, I'll give it right back to you. I ain't scared. But yeah. I don't know. That's just my opinion, and we all know Nate's opinion. So
opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them,
and they all stink. Just kidding.
Most of the time, yes.
Mine smells like roses. I don't know what you're talking about. Just kidding. But no, I mean, and that's just, it's whatever. It's life, right? So just smoke another one and move on. But no, dude, I mean, like, I want to work, you know, because I want to have more money coming in than what I have, even though I have money that pays my bills and does other things. But I'm not finding anything that I really think meets my standards. And, you know, when I call you and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 and then you just tell me certain things, or like I called another place. Let's see. That was before I had that job that I only worked at for a month. I called them. He told me he'd call me back 2 days later. I mean, here we are in November. Wow. I haven't heard from him back. Like, don't tell me you're going to call me. Because he was like, oh, no, we don't have nothing here, but I think that we, you know, I can talk to a few people and I'll give you a call back in a couple days. I mean, I called him back after 3 days, still heard nothing from them. It's like, you're not helping me. Like, I don't know. I expect if you tell me something that you're going to do it. Like 9 times out of 10, if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And majority, and majority of people aren't that way anymore, man. And that's how the world's become. That's what society has created is you can say it and not do it, and it'll be okay, because really, why does it matter? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That's why we live in the world that we live in. The society is the way it is because no one sticks to what they say. No one. The only time people want to help is if it benefits them. And I'm not saying everybody, and I'm not saying that this is 100% always happening. I'm saying a majority of the people that help others is because they're expecting to get something back. Like, take yesterday, for example. Yesterday was what?
Veterans Day.
Right. The only day that I take advantage of being a veteran because, well, I like food. But, and isn't that why we all joined the military and we served? Because we got free food for one day?
Yeah.
Just kidding. But,
yep, that's what it is.
Yesterday, so whatever, we had fun. We went out to eat, we did some things. Texas Roadhouse, I don't know, for those of the people watching, and for you, if you have Texas Roadhouse near you, they stepped their game up this year. Usually, between 11 to 2 on Veterans Day, you drive around, and there's obviously a line, and then you get up to the people, you show them that you're a veteran, and they give you a voucher. And for the last few years, that's what it's been, which is fine. I expect to go to restaurants and be, if I'm not that one guy wearing my uniform on Veterans Day, which we're not going to get into that either because you don't need to do that. But, check my ID or whatever. Make sure that I'm sure that yesterday there was a bunch of people that took advantage of it if they didn't get ID. You know what I'm saying? I went to a couple of places and they didn't even ask for my ID. Oh, are you a veteran? I am. And they just go with it. Like, anybody can say that, man. But, anyway, so yesterday evening, like I do every day. I get on Facebook, I swipe just one time and I let it go through, and wherever it stops, if I find that appealing, I'll look at it. If not, I'll swipe again and just let it keep going. Well, it ended up stopping in one of the veteran groups that I'm in, and it was a veteran complaining about other veterans and saying, let's not dishonor our fellow veterans. Okay. So what the story was about was their son, and I don't care if this is public because it was on Facebook, so it was public anyway. Their son volunteered to go in on his day off to do free oil changes for veterans on Veterans Day. And I think they said over 100 people, 100 veterans came through, and not one of them tipped. And I'm like, I'm confused here. And then that's when it said, fellow vets, let's not dishonor our fellow vets by not tipping. And it's like, wait, what? Well, one, your son went on a day off. He got paid anyway. And two, why would you? And this leads back to what I was saying. Most people do nice things because they expect something in return. So, how are you a vet knowing that we have one day a year, and you're complaining about other vets not tipping your son because your son chose to go in on a day off to do something kind? Like, that's the world we live in. Like, everybody, like I said, majority of people expect something in return for being nice. And then if they don't get anything in return, they either don't talk to that person again, or they don't do anything nice, or they don't help. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's ridiculous. I never in my mind, as a vet or not vet, would be like, oh, well, I helped you, so I expect you to give me something back. Or, hey, I went in on my day off and it happened to be Veterans Day and I helped a bunch of veterans. None of them tipped me, so I'm mad. Like, what? That's not the right road to getting unity and kindness. Like, that's just basically saying, well, I helped you, so you give me something in return, and if you don't, I'm not talking to you ever again. Well, okay, bye. That's why Nate's circle is so small.
Yeah. Same. I mean, to be services to others is to be a service to yourself. So, I mean, I don't look at being service to others and helping others as a way to get paid. You know what I mean?
Well, right.
Even so, if I feel like I'm helping somebody, that's payment enough. You know what I mean? Because it does something good for the soul, not for my pocket.
That's what helps my happiness and my well-being is helping others. And I don't care. Like, I regardless if I get taken advantage of or whatever, I still do it. That's who I am, and that's who I'm always going to be. And if I'm close with you or we're good friends, then I'm loyal. Like, I'm not loyal trying to get something from you. Shit, I don't need anything from nobody, dude. I honestly don't. Like, I don't even take help from my own mama, and that bothers her sometimes too. But that's just me. Like, I could be fully down and out and at rock bottom, but you call me and say, hey, I need somebody to talk to, and boom, I'm right there. That's just me. And because of the way I am, that's how I notice the way others are. And I have references if anybody needs any, but I'm that type that I can literally read people and pay attention. I pay too close attention to detail. That's the problem. And I can call a spade a spade. I can call a duck a duck if I think that what you're doing is just trying to benefit yourself. Like, I mean, obviously, for certain things, we all try to benefit, right? Some things we do, we're trying to benefit from. So, like, I'm going to school, and I'm trying to benefit from that because I'm trying to find a position or a career that I want to enjoy, right?
Yep.
That's not a bad thing. But if you're trying to use somebody to benefit yourself, then that's when it's like, all right, so like you either need to fix that.
What was the real motive there?
Yeah. And that's what I pay attention to the most. And yeah, there's a lot of people in this world, I'm telling you. Like at first they're good at covering up that they're trying to benefit by being nice and doing nice or whatever. But like they say, true colors always shine, man. And I'm the one that catches them real quick. And it pisses a lot of people off because they're like, well, you don't give the benefit of the doubt. And it's, no, I already gave the benefit of the doubt. That benefit of the doubt came to fact, and now I'm telling you facts. You don't want to believe it, that's on you. You want to believe it, okay, well, let me show you. But the world just needs to change, man. The world needs to change. The shit's just getting old and tiring. And no wonder I like to be retired and sitting in my house. Smoking all the time.
I don't blame you.
Jesus.
There's a few days that, just opening up my email before I even get to work, it's like, it's going to be those days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
But you still enjoy it, though, right?
Yeah, no. You can absolutely enjoy what you do to help others without having to enjoy who you have to work with all the time.
Yes. And I try to tell people that because, like I said, I tried out the position I was doing. I was trying to get over it. But you can only, well, one, you have to, myself, I didn't have to work. I chose to work. So I was just like, all right, well, I could just sit back and just be like, whatever, but nah, I don't want to be here anyway. So, and like when I left, I gave them a letter of resignation and put in there the exact reason and the exact person and people and yeah. I remember they tried to get a hold of me.
So they knew the problem as soon as you left.
Yeah.
They knew what the problem
was.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though they tried to call me and email me for more information, and I sent them an email back, and I was like, my letter of resignation tells you, ask others, and that was it. And I haven't, obviously never heard back from them, but it's just, this world is just crazy. I think everybody just needs to smoke.
I mean, whatever helps people, I'm all for. You know what I'm saying?
And I think more vets need to run for office.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of which, elections just ended. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that need to, especially if you're going to work in the organizations or serve those who have served.
Right.
They ought to have been through that whole system before they can be of service or be put in position to run those things. So, like, if you're going to be the secretary of the Veterans Administration, you have better been through the Veterans Administration to know what you're getting ready to try to fix.
Right. Well, and I fully agree. How can you? That's like, well, when I was deployed, one of our E6s, he hadn't even been to the actual training for the MOS and the unit that I was with. He hadn't even been to training for that, and they had him in charge, telling people what to do. And I'm like, man, you're not even qualified, bro.
Yeah, and that's that's all political.
Oh, I know. We don't want to get into all that.
That's definitely a different episode.
That one would get us banned. We don't want. Yeah, no, I don't know. We may not even do that episode. That might get us banned.
Yeah, that might.
But I think in the long run, you're doing good. I'm doing good. Like, even though we haven't done an episode in 6 months, or we only communicated with a, hey, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You good? Yeah. Like, we've done what we're supposed to do, though, right? That's as
Yep.
veterans and as brothers and in arms and things like that. That's what we're supposed to do. IGY6. That's what that means. I got your six. But doing this episode and not even really like we weren't even really talking about much. Talk about ourselves, some things, some other things. You know what I'm saying? Like these types of episodes. You know, and maybe once we start doing more people will start coming in, and we can start getting some interaction. People start talking about this or that. But all in all, as long as you're good and the people out there are good, then I'm good.
Same.
And I also think that more people need to smoke because the happier the people, the happier the world. Oh, then we could all
This is
just
Nate's endorsement for it.
yes. Please sponsor me because Blue Chew hasn't called us. So
Yeah.
but
Ball Blue Chew.
I think our next episode though, I think we need to get serious with it. And I'm saying this so that way everybody can hear because I'm kind of trying to say that like the next episode I want to kind of do it and talk about the certain things that we didn't really talk about right now because that's just this episode wasn't for that. But I think for those out there listening, veteran or not, because this topic that I kind of want to talk about in the next episode is for everyone. Yes, we're going to talk more about veterans and dealing with it or service members and dealing with it, but it's about everybody. And I think that's divorce. I think we need to start talking about that and certain things that how as veterans and how in general that it's going to, like how to not overcome it because you can't really overcome it, I guess, but how to deal with it and get through with it. And I mean, I've been divorced twice, so but that's something that needs to be talked about because regardless of it's easy. Like some of us, my second divorce it was whatever. Like it happened. I was cool with it, whatever. But deep inside and emotionally and mentally, like it still can be a burden. It can still be hard because like your whole, your life is now flipping back over. So it's like transitioning from the military to the civilian world because what you're used to in the military doesn't happen in the civilian world. So that for everybody listening and for myself, that's I think, and I'm gonna try for that one. I'm gonna try to have some like statistics and some research too, so that way we can have a factual talk as well. But other than that, I think for now we've kind of touched on everything that we wanted to talk about today, and unfortunately, we're still not sponsored by Blue Chew. So if anybody in Michigan that deals with, the very, very helpful herb wants to sponsor us, we'll be okay with that too. Please reach out. I don't care how you reach out.
Make sure my share goes directly to Nate.
If you have an ambassador program, I'm more than happy to join that. Send me some trials. I'll be happy with that too. I'm just kidding, but I'm not at the same time. So
yeah, and then I think next episode, if we get enough people that are interested in the poll on Spotify is up, and it'll be on this episode as well as Riverside, the program we use here. It offers an ability to have audiences in the show, so I might toy with that. So if you're interested, drop an email or a message to us, and we get you the link for the next episode. When we do that one, we'll send it out, tweet it out.
Yeah,
and have a little bit of audience in the
right. And veteran or not, I mean, obviously, there's going to be some things that are not non-veteran, isn't going to be to relate to. But if we're basing this episode on certain things, I mean, anybody can reach out. Like, just let us know, and we could do part of the episode with a non-veteran and part of the episode with a veteran. I mean, I don't care. I think that'd be helpful, though. That's what I think.
So you want to shoot for that episode on the 19th, which is next Sunday? Or what do you got going on?
Retired, bro. What do you mean what I got going on? I got a
All
whole
right.
lot of nothing.
Everybody tune in on the 19th.
Yeah, we'll be here the 19th.
As always, appreciate everybody that came in, hung out with us to the show. Love and appreciate everybody. Share with your friends. Check us out on Spotify. All the major. Thanks, Beans.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Beans.
you. Yeah, definitely share everything on. We're on Spotify and all the major podcasting platforms. And yeah, if you're interested, hit that Q&A up as soon as the episode is up, and let us know if you want to actually be in the studio audience, which I think would be a cool feature to play around with.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna start doing more episodes, so I mean, we need to make sure we start putting out more, and I'm gonna get on that too, since again I'm retired and I don't do much anyway.
Thanks, Ghost. Appreciate you.
Oh,
everybody
Ghosty.
have a good evening.
All right, y'all. We will talk to y'all later.
Later, man.